Hello friends, I am Jyotirvid Pavan Kumar. Welcome to my workbench. In this video, we will learn how to desolder components from discarded PCBs and also how to make good solder joints for making new projects. First of all, let me tell you that for this work you need a soldering iron with a stand like this one I am using, a soldering iron, and because it is hot when plugged to the main supply, you cannot place it on the workbench, so you need a stand for this. So be careful while using the soldering iron because it is hot. You need solder wire. This is an alloy of tin and lead, and for good solder wire the ratio of tin to lead should be 60-40, 60% tin, 40% lead, so that the joints are electrically good. By electrically good I mean their resistance, internal resistance is low or negligible, and also they look shining. Then you need a natural sponge which you can soak in water and place it on the workbench for cleaning the tip of the soldering iron in between your work. So if you keep the tip of the soldering iron clean and shining, this will make good solder joints. For this, use a natural sponge and not a synthetic one. The synthetic one will melt. Now, first of all, let me tell you how to remove components from discarded PCBs. Like this PCB, I took out from an old inverter, and there are a lot of components. Suppose I wish to remove this electrolytic capacitor, then I have to place this upside down on the workbench. Let me use a piece of sponge underneath. Now, since the solder on the this PCB is old, it doesn't melt easily. So first of all, you heat up both the joints, both the terminals of the component you wish to desolder, and then if you apply a little bit of fresh solder, then the old solder melts very quickly, and then you can pull the component and the component is easily removed. This is an electrolytic capacitor, so I can use in some future project. Similarly, like this old fused CFL, you can remove polyester capacitors. They can be used to run LEDs from mains voltage. You can also remove silicon diodes, but the procedure is the same. Heat up the terminal of the component you wish to take out and apply some fresh solder so that the old solder melts quickly. Now let me tell you how to make good solder joints. Suppose this is the PCB and you wish to solder a component, like suppose you wish to solder this capacitor, then you can select the holes where you wish to solder this component and slightly pull apart the terminals so that it doesn't fall. Place it on the workbench. Heat up one terminal at a time and apply solder. So this will make a good bright solder joint. Then you can do the same with the second terminal. Sometimes the PCB, the copper on the PCB is not is old and slightly rusted, so it is good to, before putting the component, if you clean up the stripes, the copper stripes, with a sandpaper, that will help in making good solder joint. Now suppose on this PCB there are copper stripes and your circuit requires that you wish to make a break somewhere on the copper stripe, then for that use a drill bit of suitable size. Place the drill bit on the hole where you wish to separate the stripe, make a space and push it down and rotate it. This will remove the copper, and if after doing this, if a little bit of copper is left there, you can use this knife to separate it, and then you can check with the multimeter whether 2 points are isolated or not. For that you can select the point where continuity is tested. So if you join both probes, it will give you a beep, which means that both points are shorted. So if I place both the probes on each side of the place where I have separated the stripe, it doesn't beep. That means both the points are separated. If they were not, then they will give a beep like this, but since they are not, there is no beep, so there is no continuity, so both the points are separated. So this way you can make good solder joints, and the important tip is that always keep the tip of the soldering iron clean and shining by wiping it occasionally on a wet sponge. I hope you like this video. Thank you for watching.